So now we have modeled all of the parts of our workbench. We can now go on to forming the complete assembly. So if you select the 9 dots just in the left corner, you'll see the data panel. And then within that, you should have every part that we've previously drawn. So let's start off with the legs then, and we use this as a reference to add in all of the other parts. Let's right click here, select Insert into Current Design. We've got our leg appear there, and that's landed at the origin. We'll click OK, we're happy with that. And the first thing we're going to do is go into our Creation Tools, come into Pattern Tools, and we're going to rectangular pattern this leg. So in terms of the object type, we want to make sure we have components selected. Okay, and then in terms of objects, we can either select the part here, or we can select the part in the browser. So I'll left click once on the part. Then in terms of axis, we want to be going down the x-axis and also down the y-axis. Let me bring out the x-axis then. Okay, so Fusion's using a default of 3 as a pattern. Let's change that to 2. Then the distance that we're patterning by is 1625 mil. Okay, and then we'll move on to the y. And again, let's change that to 2. And then distance there is 575 millimeters. Press OK. And you'll notice here that all of the parts that we've patterned, we cannot move. And that is because they are patterned from the original part, which is this one here. And that is grounded to this file. So all of these 4 are now fixed, which is great. And we can move on now and add in, let's go for the apron. Let's go for the short apron. Right click on that, insert the current design. That's in the correct orientation and almost in the right position. Just roughly position that. Click OK. And then we're going to use the joint command. So we need to select a point. Let's first of all choose the apron. I'm going to choose this face here. We see our available points we can select. I'm going to go with the top corner here. Left click once. And then if we rotate the part, then we match that to the corresponding point on this face, which is this point here. Left click again. It's looking nice, and we're going to bring that in. We want that to have an offset of actually minus 10 mil. In this case, minus 10. Press enter. There we have our short apron. Let's go ahead and add a long apron. Right click on that, insert current design. See, that's in the correct orientation. That's good. Let's bring that up. Okay. Press J on the keyboard again. And in this case, we're going to select this face. So mouse over this face and then bring up to select this point. Left click once. And then its corresponding point would be on this face and this point here, left click. And again, we're going to offset that by 10 mil and press OK. Looking good. Let's add in the other one. Right click, insert. Bring that across, slightly up, press OK. Press J on the keyboard. Let's go for this point here. And its corresponding one would be this point here. I'm just going to draw that in 10 mil like so. And then let's add the last short apron, insert. Bring that across. J on the keyboard. And we're going to reference this point here to this point here. And again, offset that 10 mil. It's OK. There we go. So our frame is forming. Let's also add in the braces. So these are the support braces. Insert into current design. Similar process here, but in this case, we're going to press J and we're going to reference from this face here, which means we want to select this corner point here. So mouse on this face, select this point, corresponding point would be this face point here. And then we're going to offset that by distance of 400 mil. Okay. Repeat the process again for the other side. Draw that across, then up. Okay. J on the keyboard. Select this point here. Corresponding point, this one here. And we're going to pull that across. That's minus 400 offset. Press OK. There we go, looking good. And at this point, we can add the tabletop. So let's right click on that part, insert current design. Now let's push this up like so, okay. Now in terms of reference point here, let's use joint and let's use this corner here and we'll match that to this point here. And now we want to offset this by 50 mil in this direction, offset 50, and also 50 mil in this direction. So yeah, 50 and 50, let's press OK. Let's have a look at that from the bottom view. That's looking nice, and I'm just going to use the inspection tool here. So the measurement tool, hit I on the keyboard, select this face, select this face. Should see there 50 mil, that's good. I clear those, select this face and this one here. Yeah, 50 mil, perfect. Okay, yeah, we know that's in the right position. And now we can go ahead and do the shelf. So just before I do that, I want to turn off the joints, and to do that, go to display settings, object visibility, and just turn off the joint visibility there. That's looking better already. So for the shelf, let's put in our braces between the legs. So right click, insert current design. Yeah, I'm just going to click OK there. And I'm going to choose, in terms of a joint, let's choose this face here, and we can choose this joint, this point, sorry. And then that corresponds with this point here, left click once. And we're going to offset that. In this case, it's 150 mil, press OK. Same process on the other side. Let's insert current design. Let's draw that across. It's OK. Let's J on the keyboard. Let's select this point here and make a corresponding joint with this point here. And let's offset this. Let's offset that as well. 150. Press enter. Okay, that's looking nice. Let's also get the aprons in there for the shelf as well. So right click, insert current design, same process again, move that roughly, press J on the keyboard. Let's go from this point here to this point here, and offset that by 10 mil. And then in this axis, we want to offset that by 150, let's enter. Do the same on the other side, right click, insert. Okay, just going to put that into position roughly with the mouse, J on the keyboard, this face, this point, this face, this point, 10 mil offset this direction, and then this direction, we want an offset of 150, let's enter. Go on the home view. Okay, coming together, let's also get the support braces in there as well. So right click, insert. Okay, roughly position that. Let's press J on the keyboard then, and we're going to go this face, this corner. The corresponding point there is here. We're going to offset that by 400. So, okay. Nice, and one more. Repeat that process. Minus 400, enter. And now we're ready to add in the lower shelf. So let's get our lower shelf, right click, insert. Okay, just going to bring that up, press OK. And then in terms of a joint here, we've got many options to select. But in this case, I'm going to go with this face and this point. And that corresponds with this face and this joint, except it's going to be offset by 10 mil, like so. Press OK. There, see that? It's a nice fit. Same with this corner. Let's check the other two as well. Yep. Okay, yeah, and that is our workbench. So it is quite a repetitive process when it comes to joints. In terms of efficiency, it's about understanding which points to select and their corresponding points, and then forming the appropriate joints from there. Just one thing I want to point out is if I go and edit one of these joints, I just want to highlight that on the motion type of every joint we just made was rigid as it should be. Like we wouldn't want to, let's say, choose the revolute motion type, for example, or perhaps the, let's go for a pin slot. Okay, we definitely don't want our workbench to be doing that. So yeah, all joints here are rigid in this case, as they should be for a workbench. Let's press OK. And as you can see, the reason that we removed the dog holes down this column here and also down this column was just to avoid any conflict with the lower braces here. And the client was more than satisfied with that. Okay, so that is the project for the Workbench. I hope you guys got along well with that. Any questions, please do send me a message. But aside from that, I'll see you in the next project.